Hey everyone, how's it going? God Gamer here. So today I woke up and I made the brilliant decision that I would read more negative reviews of my favorite game, Hollow Knight. So last time we noticed a common theme in the reviews, which was that people would get salty playing the game and then they would make shit up to justify why they weren't having fun. And there were also plenty of people who didn't seem to understand that they weren't the demographic for the game and then gave it a shit review regardless. And if that's the case, I understand. Hollow Knight isn't for everyone, but it is a good game, and I will fight you to the death about that. It's good, but only for 2 or 3 hours. After that, they're nothing new for you, and the game is repeating itself. Okay, repeating itself in what sense? Do you mean entering a new area and having to get an ability and kill enemies and defeat a boss? If so, that's how video games work. Sometimes it's too easy, and sometimes too hard. Well, everyone else seems to think the game is too hard all the time. Not a bad game, but it's not worth the price? Hollow Knight costs $5 on sale, man. How cheap does it have to be? Okay, this one we're saving for later. I enjoyed the game, but really hate it when Steam rating suggests it's a 9.5 out of 10, even though it's more like an 8 out of 10, so they force me to downvote. Well, I'm not an expert at this, but I think it's a thumbs down, thumbs up system as evidenced by the giant fucking thumb on your review. I think everyone else knows how this review system works, and you seem to be the only person who doesn't. This could be the best bad game I've played. It's so good at masking how bad it is. It took me almost 60 hours to realize that. What? I'm taking a break from it just because of how annoying everything is, especially traveling around. I mean, I could beat Symphony of the Night with 100% completion in about the same time it takes to travel to the vendor to repair a broken charm. The way the story is presented doesn't work. All these little bits and hints, the hidden NPCs that exist just to tell you a few lines. Storytelling like that works in games like Demon's Souls and Dark Souls, but there's a limit to how much atmosphere and immersion you can get from a 2D game. What? Why would you think that? Just give me a bad guy to kill and I'm good to go. Wait, so it doesn't matter? Then why are you complaining about it? Hollow Knight has some good parts, like enemy variety, boss battles, platforming segments, some standard Metroidvania elements, but the game would need to be dismantled, rearranged, and rebuilt to make something that can be enjoyed. Well, honestly, I think if a game can mask how bad it is for 60 hours, then I think it's done a pretty damn good job. Gameplay-wise, it's solid, with great mechanics, beautiful art, and great music too. So then why do you give it a negative review? Nope, hold on. But game does a piss poor job on guiding you to your next destination. Well, yeah, it doesn't guide you to your next destination. One would argue that's the point of the game. Game seems to be designed around wasting your time, making you get lost over and over, and calls it exploration. Well, how can a game simultaneously not give you guidance and then also make you get lost? That doesn't make any fucking sense. My initial review of this game was positive, but playing it more and more, it seems like yet another 10-hour game squeezed into 25 to 30 hours. The game is too padded, and the fun stuff is too spread out. It may be a good time waster if you have no job and 14 hours to burn until your next sleep. Feeling kinda called out by that one. But for me, that's just dull. It's not like the game is even too hard. I mostly bought it expecting 2D Dark Souls. I've played most Souls games and beaten them. Ooh, we got a little subtle bragging at the end there. Watch out for this guy, he's a serious gamer. Meanwhile, he rage quits out of Soul Sanctum and gives the game a bad review. Controls are painful and not fluid. This game is not per se difficult, but the painful controls make it easier to take damage, and then when you die, you lose all of your money. This together makes the game not enjoyable. 0.9 hours on record? Okay, let's be totally honest here. There's nothing wrong with Hollow Knight's controls. You're just fucking bad at the game. Is this a walking simulator? Well, only according to that reviewer from last time. Bug's Life, Knight's Quest. Game strongly influenced by Super Metroid, with leveling and skills more similar to some Castlevania titles, such as Aria of Sorrow. If you have played these and enjoy them, this game will evoke a similar interest, no doubt. You require essence of enemies to develop your character, but devs recently removed the ability to do so without further re-exploring areas you've explored before. What? Example, many tougher enemies that give you more essence will not respawn immediately after leaving or re-entering the room, or even several rooms over. What the fuck is this person talking about? This person's talking about an RPG game. Game slows down after about 10 hours, after which the player is encouraged to farm essence more. This is when the game may or may require backtracking old areas, potentially to find new secrets. Worst case, to some tedium. I'm honestly just so confused. What the fuck is this? I have no idea what this person is talking about. It may be a language barrier, but like I can't imagine it even making sense in their own language. It does a bad job on telling me what to do. The bosses are cool and fun, but they don't have much flavor. The cool environment can make me not see platforms at times, and it is very not forgiving if you miss or plunder. Okay, one, the game doesn't do a bad job of telling you what to do, it just doesn't tell you what to do at all, and that's different to how can you think the bosses in Hollow Knight don't have much flavor? That's literally one of the main appeals of the game. And 3, it's not the environment making you not see platforms, it's your ineptitude at platforming. During the game, you will just be A, walking, B, raging because you can't defeat a fucking boss, C, crying because you lost your shade with 8,000 Geo, and D, sleeping for the first 4 hours of gameplay. Well, if Gruzmother took you that long to beat, then I think that's a you problem. There's better Souls-likes and better Metroidvanias. Okay, Hollow Knight is not a Souls-like just because it has a shade that pops up where you died. It's not, that doesn't make it a Souls-like. This attempted hybrid has an amazing aesthetic, agreed, but ultimately misses the mark on trying to blend the two genres. Yeah, because it doesn't. It comes off as the frustrating parts of exploring a Souls-like mixed with the limited controls of that genre, and also manages to make the Metroidvania map system imprecise. 121 hours on record. God, yeah, this game's real shit. Just plays it for 120 hours. The game has some great bosses and battle gameplay, but the respawn are so fucking far from the bosses, you're always completely lost, access to some new tunnel that you can't go through because you don't have the ability yet, so you have to backtrack the all fucking map every time you get a mobility improve. End of the first sentence. There is no fast travel, obviously. Kinda really shitty one that you gotta pay for. I got really into Soulsborne recently, Sekiro included, and this game is a big disappointment after hearing so good about it. The price is not much though, so it might help good reviews. Or just the fact that it's a good game might help good reviews. Now, I, for one, playing Hollow Knight, I wasn't completely lost the whole time. Just because people draw comparisons to Dark Souls doesn't mean the game is going to play like a Souls game. It's going to play like a Metroidvania, because that's what it is. Over the course of 10 hours, I went from loving it to hating it. Hollow Knight is like a mix between Dark Souls, oh, stop, and Ori. No, it's not really like Ori either, or perhaps other Metroidvanias. There you go. But it really feels like Ori with that level and map design. It's very pretty and the controls are nice, but it is incredibly boring. Given that 90% of your time in a Metroidvania should be exploring the area, the exploring should be fun and exciting. But in this game, it is a snooze fest. Movement is slow, enemies are pushovers, and in the first 2 hours, I didn't get an upgrade that aided movement, just a projectile. Sure, that unlocked a new area, but combat was already super easy, so there was no meaningful change to the exploration aspect. The game engine and ideas are there, but the polish isn't. Well, maybe if you weren't so desperate to refund the game before the 2-hour window, you would have entered Green Path and got the dash ability, you dingus. Also, I agree that Forgotten Crossroads is a little bit too easy and slow, but why don't you give the game a chance after you make it to Green Path? And then you can probably be the next person to get stuck at Hornet for 22 hours.